Taylor Frankie Paul just reached a major turning point. After years of controversy surrounding her relationship with Dakota, her legal case has officially reached its conclusion. Her probation is over, her felony charge was reduced, and for the first time in years, she is no longer under probation. You would think that would be the end of the drama. It wasn't. Just 2 days after the news broke, Dakota and Shenia publicly launched their relationship. Taylor continued posting heavily online, including AI-generated pictures that immediately had people talking. Then came a strange conversation involving custody pickup arrangements. And while all of that was happening, another feud inside the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives universe exploded. Demi and Jesse were going back and forth over their appearances, cosmetic procedures, and their long-running comparison to one another. So how did everything get this messy? Let's start with the biggest development. Taylor Frankie Paul's 2023 domestic violence case involving Dakota has officially reached its conclusion. At an August 7th court hearing, the judge ruled that Taylor had successfully completed the 3-year probation required under her plea agreement. That meant a major change for Taylor. Her aggravated assault felony was reduced to a Class A misdemeanor, and she was officially no longer on probation. The case goes back to the 2023 incident involving Dakota, which became a major topic again after video footage circulated showing Taylor throwing metal chairs during the confrontation. For Taylor, completing probation was clearly significant. Whatever people may think about the original incident, the legal requirement she was under had now been completed. And after years of the case hanging over her, this was finally something she could point to as a positive development. But the timing of what happened next made people online suspicious because just 2 days after the news about Taylor's probation came out, Dakota and Shenia suddenly made their relationship official, and that's when the internet started connecting the dots. Shenia posted photos with Dakota on Instagram, officially showing the two of them together. That alone would have been enough to create conversation, but because of the history between Taylor and Dakota, people immediately started wondering whether the timing meant something more. Some viewers believed the relationship announcement was designed to get a reaction from Taylor. That's an interpretation from people online, not something that has been established as fact. Still, the comments were brutal. People accused Dakota and Shenia of intentionally provoking Taylor. Others questioned why Shenia would become involved with someone whose personal situation was already so complicated. And then there was another detail that caught everyone's attention. Shenia already knew Taylor. She had been part of the same Mormon Wives social circle. So this wasn't some completely unknown person suddenly entering Dakota's life. Viewers already knew who she was. That made the relationship feel even more personal to some people watching from the outside. And remember, Taylor had already been posting a huge amount of content online. In previous posts, she had been emotional, sharing long paragraphs and videos that caused some viewers to worry about her. Some people even thought her social media activity was a way of communicating indirectly with Dakota because of the restrictions surrounding their communication. Again, that's speculation from viewers. But once Dakota and Shenia went public, every post Taylor made suddenly seemed to be analyzed. And then Taylor posted something that made the internet even more curious. Instead of directly attacking Shenia, Taylor posted an AI-generated picture appearing to compare herself with her. The caption focused on the fact that both women had brown eyes and liked Alani. Taylor joked about the similarities and even framed it as a celebration of brown-eyed women showing up in similar outfits. She also posted the image on TikTok. But the wording about Shenia messaging her for pickup immediately caught people's attention. Taylor said she didn't crash out when Shenia texted her about what time for pickup. That led viewers to believe Shenia was involved in coordinating custody exchanges involving Dakota's son, and that became a whole conversation of its own. Some people felt the new girlfriend shouldn't be involved in custody arrangements. Others saw it differently. Taylor herself appeared surprisingly calm about it. When someone suggested that Shenia might have been trying to get a reaction from her, Taylor acknowledged the comment. But she also agreed with another viewer who said that having more people who love a child can be positive for co-parenting. Taylor essentially made it clear that as long as Shenia was kind to her son, that was what mattered. That response was interesting because it wasn't the explosive reaction many people expected. Instead of publicly fighting with Shenia, Taylor appeared to be taking a more controlled approach. But the internet wasn't convinced. Some viewers still believed the entire situation was designed to get under Taylor's skin, and there was another reason Dakota's return to social media mattered. For a period of time, Dakota had stepped away from social media. He said he had deleted his social media apps for more than a month. According to Dakota, the break had been a surprisingly positive experience. He compared the feeling to detoxing and said that scrolling through social media wasn't helping his situation. More importantly, he said he felt social media was distracting him from being a dad and from becoming a better person. That was a very different approach from what people had been seeing from Taylor, who continued to post frequently. Now Dakota was back. And his return happened around the same time that he and Shenia publicly launched their relationship. That meant the entire situation was suddenly playing out online again. But while Taylor and Dakota's situation continued to dominate conversations, another feud was developing elsewhere in the Mormon wives world. And this one had nothing to do with Dakota. It was about two women who had spent years being compared to each other. Demi and Jessie have been compared to each other for years. In fact, viewers were making jokes about how similar they looked long before their relationship completely fell apart. At one point, they even leaned into the comparison themselves. But things are very different now. Someone recently posted a picture of Demi and asked why she looked like Jessie. Demi fired back, essentially reversing the comparison. She claimed that one of them had undergone numerous facial procedures since they first met and said it wasn't her. That opened the door to another round of arguments about cosmetic surgery. Jess responded by accusing Demi of being narcissistic and calling her an ugly person on the inside. She also made it clear that she could choose to have cosmetic work done for herself, and not because she was trying to look like Demi. Then she reposted a video discussing the drama and criticized Demi for putting down someone's appearance and insecurities. The back and forth quickly became much bigger than a simple argument about who looks like whom. It turned into another chapter in their already complicated relationship. And the funny part is that viewers really had been making these comparisons for years. Jessie had previously posted about people saying they couldn't tell the two women apart. So this isn't a brand new comparison. What's changed is the relationship between them. Something that may have once been a joke between friends has now become ammunition in an ongoing feud, and that feud eventually connected back to another controversy that has been following these women for quite some time. As the latest argument spread online, people began revisiting the old mom talk drama. Some viewers started saying that Demi had been right all along to leave the group. Others began claiming that previous accusations and conflicts suddenly looked different now that more drama was happening publicly. Jess clearly wasn't happy with that interpretation. She posted a statement addressing comments claiming Demi had been right about everything. Her response was basically that the fact that she and Demi were now fighting didn't automatically mean Demi had been correct about what happened in the past. Jess also defended her relationship with Marciano. She said that what viewers had seen regarding their story was the truth and that she hadn't lied about the situation. Then she reminded people that, from her perspective, Demi had also done serious things to people. That is important because social media narratives can change extremely quickly. Someone who was heavily criticized one year can suddenly be defended the next. And someone who was once considered sympathetic can suddenly become the target. Jess's point was that people shouldn't rewrite the entire history of a conflict simply because the people involved are fighting again. But the comments continued, and Taylor eventually found herself pulled into the conversation too. While people were discussing Demi and Jesse's appearance, Taylor jumped into the conversation. Her response was basically that she thought both women looked good, but she was scared to get similar cosmetic work herself. That sparked another familiar conversation. Should people be changing their appearance because they genuinely want to, or are they feeling pressured because everyone around them is doing the same thing? Taylor's comment was lighthearted, but it touched on something viewers have noticed throughout the Mormon wives universe. Beauty, appearance, cosmetic procedures, relationships, friendships, and social media image all seem to become part of the public conversation. And because these women share so much of their lives online, even a simple joke can turn into a major discussion. That's exactly what happened here. A single comparison between Demi and Jesse turned into a conversation about plastic surgery. That led back to their old feud that reopened the mom talk drama. And somehow, Taylor ended up commenting on cosmetic procedures too. All of this is happening before the new season has even arrived. And that's probably the wildest part. Frankie Paul has officially completed her probation. Her felony charge was reduced to a misdemeanor. That should have marked the end of one of the biggest chapters in her legal story. Instead, almost immediately, Dakota and Shenia went public. Taylor kept posting. People started analyzing her AI pictures and custody-related comments. Dakota returned to social media after taking a month-long break. Then Demi and Jesse reignited their own feud over appearance, cosmetic procedures, and their history with each other. And the old mom talk drama came right back into the conversation. The biggest takeaway isn't necessarily who is right or wrong in every argument. It's how quickly these stories connect. One Instagram post leads to another. One comment revives an old feud. A relationship announcement becomes part of a much bigger conversation. And before anyone has time to move on, another controversy takes its place. That's the world of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives right now. The new season hasn't even arrived yet, and there's already enough drama happening online to fill an entire season. The real question is what happens when the cameras are actually rolling again? Because if this is what is happening before the new season, it's hard to imagine things getting any quieter once it begins.